For too many decades, she admitted to being a dog lover, an optimist, an introvert, and a recovering Catholic. Toni's career has included social work, college teaching and administration, grant writing, and nonprofit consulting. She is the author of 2 books of poetry, Jesus is a Gas and Wind Wing. Her poetry has been published in numerous journals including Voicecatcher, editions 3 and 4, outwardlink.net, and Perceptions. She was co-editor for the final print edition of Voicecatcher in 2012. Toni is the co-founder of Printed Matter Vancouver, an editing service and small press imprint that publishes the poetry of Pacific Northwest writers and co-hosts the Ghost Town Poetry Open Mic with Christopher Luna that was established in 2004. Please welcome Toni.
Hi. Nice to see you all. See all these faces. I want to look first. Okay. Thank you very much for inviting me, Adi and Melissa. It's really an honor to be here. I'm going to read from my book, Wind Wing. Took me so many years to write this, and the first chapter is about my mother, and I'll read a few poems from that chapter. I am an only child of a mother with severe mental illness. She's a schizophrenic, and growing up was like a very wild roller coaster ride. And my poems are about in that first chapter are about that. My mother passed away from a stroke at the age of 57, and I was 25 years old when she passed. So I realized at about age 6 or 7 that that something about her would change dramatically, and it could be at any given time. So I hope that some of these sort of give you an idea of what that experience was like. So I'm going to start with the book title. Title poem is Wind Wing. And a wind wing, do some of you know what a wind wing is? Yeah, a few hands here and there. This was a picture of my mother's Impala convertible. And the wind wing is that little triangle window that we now have vents in our car, right? Then we had the wind wing, which was the latch, and you push it open a little bit, as far as you like, or as narrow as you like, to get some air in the car. Wind wing. Sweet breeze, scented with orange blossoms in early summer, caress my face, pressed against the open wind wing in her Impala. These rides, a secret time to talk while we forget she is crazy. Top down, headed home with drippy cones, her strawberry, me maple nut. Just enough time to adjust the wind wing while the red leather seats grow warm. She lets me push buttons to find the right song for our sing-along. These are the times I remember now, in melancholy middle age, her hair cut short, dyed blonde, shoulders tanned above the halter top, while shorts sprout bare legs down to bright red toenails. I picture this as her departure from upstate New York and Catholic school rules, when California set her free and took her down. I watched her ricochet between two worlds, safe home or padded room, delicacies or dry-mouthed delirium, green lawns or barred doors, Sunday mass or shock treatments. Her sanity, barely or not at all. I long for the Impala. It is easier than longing for her. A drive along Victoria Avenue, lined with orange groves and old songs, while we drift between dark nights and darker days. Her life, like the wind wing, unlatched slowly, 1 inch at a time, till the wind arrives at high pitch. Throw it wide open and watch everything fly away. Madrona Road. Flicker on the living room wall. She walks into the scene in a one-piece suit, a hint of that sad smile I miss. Tan legs and a tiny bust, her 95 pounds vulnerable to gusts of wind, like the ragged palm in the background. A glint of blue at her side, fingers fuse with the bathing cap. Slips into the water, hands flat on the surface, looks over her shoulder into the lens, lips mouthing words I can't discern, lost like the sound of her voice. All that's left is this soundless film, 8mm memories of life, dressed in a fitted bodice, purse and shoes to match, a hat for Sunday mass, clipped earrings and pursed lips blowing candles of so many birthday cakes, all in the frames of a few tragic years. There was a time when the old projector worked. Alone, I could imagine her there in the yellow house on Madrona Road, with orange trees out back and that ragged palm behind the pool. Years later, I found that one-piece suit in a box. The smell of chlorine and mothballs and the smell of her. I wore her clipped earrings that day and tried to bring her home. In this room, it was here, in this bedroom, the spot where she slipped from reality. Noises came from the closet and behind the dresser. Once, after voices called from the ceiling fixture and she entered the state hospital in her socks, I moved her possessions out and moved myself in, believed my courage would banish the demons. At night, purple satin drapes bestowed horns on both closet doors, and I wondered if these scared her too. And the mechanical Jesus at the entrance pushed the frame and his heart lit up and made the sign of the cross. She was forever blessing herself, begging forgiveness for original sin. She didn't need stigmata. She needed a remedy to stop the hemorrhage of sanity. I swear there were cold spots in that room. Turn the bed in the opposite direction, spray holy water along the baseboards, remove the bulb overhead and take the batteries from the back of Jesus. Damn, no one should live that way. She deserved more patience, kindness, children, more than me alone. More of us could have saved her. I'm sure of it. She fades. A no-color life, she fades, gone, the sepia tones that glaze the dark years. First, her black and white episodes, like frames on 8mm. Gone, days, months, years, one by one, until the bulbs burn holes in her film, holes in her heart, and finally huge holes in the thought patterns inside her brain. This is schizophrenia, Life on the ward with nuts of all varieties and maladies of every path. Sociopath, psychopath, take any path to reach the place where borderline begets personality and psychotropic remedies produce the fog. Her view on high through crackled film, small splintered particles, dust floating prisms. Her wrists in straps, lips chapped, iridescent green and purple bruises grace her shins, and she weeps, and she weeps, and all of us who love her weep and want her back. It's another birthday. This year, no birthday celebration. Her departure left me behind to sweep up a discovery of sorts. Her ashes in baggies, and I'm a dealer looking to sell a nickel's worth along the New York Thruway. There is misery in finally letting her go. The cardboard box marked Neptune Society, still wrapped in brown paper, on the top shelf of every closet in every rental I've lived for 37 years. Next year, I'll revisit Rome, Riverside, the state hospital, leave what remains of her along the way, quietly leave one for Mom, George, Mary, and little Margaret. I will keep the smallest bag and let the rest seep into the ground. I hear her voice. Don't bother, honey. The closet was fine. Still, I owe her a chance to rest, to finalize the crossing, to head east into the sunrise while I head west for answers. By next year, we'll both coast the thermals. She, lifted by the wind, me, set free by the hawks. Asphalt will ripple below, and all winged creatures will form a circle around the two of us.